Hi everyone, welcome back to our Project Build workshops. Today is our final workshop and we're going to be taking a look at Illustrator. I'm just going to do a quick overview of it and then I'm going to show you how to build a small isometric model in it. First, I've set up my page using one of the preset web options. I'm using the minimum template and you'll notice that the measurements are set in pixels. Feel free to customize your page however you'd like. You can work in inches or centimeters and make your project either web or print ready. Since I'm working with the web option, my color mode is set to RGB and 72 pixels per inch. The toolbar in Illustrator is very similar to Photoshop, and just like the Photoshop toolbar, you'll be able to expand each tool with a little arrow in the corner to find other related tools. Since many of the tools are the same as Photoshop, I'm just going to go over the tools that we'll be using today for our isometric model. We'll be using the pen tool, rectangle grid tool, rectangle tool, and the eyedropper, along with the pan and zoom tool to adjust my screen display. As we go through the tutorial, I'll also go over a few keyboard shortcuts to access tools and functions. So today we're creating an isometric drawing, which is a 3D drawing modeled in a particular angle so that you're able to see equal parts of the sides as well as the top of a shape. So to start, we're going to choose a few colors so that our model is easily read and we can distinguish each side. And then we're going to set up an isometric grid to help us draw our model. I'll be modeling our photo booth design today, so I'm going to choose 3 different colors along with different shades of each to visually add dimension to our model. I'm going to set up my colors off of the page so that I can easily use the eyedropper tool to pick and choose my colors. Think of this as kind of like your painter's palette. So I'm going to create a rectangular box for each color and shade and use the color adjusting functions to get the perfect colors. Now that we have all the colors we want, I'm going to set up my rectangular grid. When you click on the little arrow in the corner of the line tool, you'll find a tool called Rectangular Grid. Here you'll be able to set up a grid to help guide your drawing. Once I've selected the tool, I'm just going to click once on the page and this window will pop up. Here you can adjust the numbers to whatever works best for your page size and how small or large you want to make your isometric drawing. You just want to ensure that for each set of measurements, the width and height are equal. Once that is all set, I'm going to position and scale my grid up or down to cover my page. When you're scaling your grid, make sure that you're holding the Shift button on your keyboard so that all sides of the grid grow larger or smaller equally. Now I'm going to edit and transform the grid. First, we're going to rotate our grid by 45 degrees, and then we're going to edit it further by clicking Edit and Transform. Then this window should pop up. And here we'll be able to adjust our grid from a regular rectangle to an isometric grid so that we're able to draw on an angle. In this transform window, we're going to adjust the height measurement found at the bottom here to 57.74%. Now you'll see the grid has been rotated on an angle and it's ready to use for our isometric drawing. Once again, I'm just going to adjust it to fit our page and lock it into place by clicking on the box beside the eye icon in our layers section. This just ensures that these items can't be moved. You can also see in this layer section that I've placed the grid at the bottom of the list. This just means that the grid will be the layer furthest at the back. That means that anything we draw will go over top of it. So to prepare for drawing, I'm going to start by using the eyedropper tool to select the color that I want to start with. From here, we can begin drawing using the pen tool. You'll notice these pink lines appearing on my screen as I move my pen across the page. These are guides that help me snap my lines that I draw into place based on our grid and any other objects I've drawn, like these color boxes. To turn this function on and off, you can press Ctrl-U or Command-U on your keyboard. To create the shapes, I'm going to click my mouse on where I want my shape to begin, and move my mouse to the next major point in my shape. A major point in my shape is where the line will change directions, so I'm clicking my mouse at the bottom of the wall and the top of it, and so on and so forth. The grid helps me with keeping my line straight and in the right angle, but also with my measurements. I want this part of my wall to be 1 box wide and 8 boxes tall. For the next side of our wall, I'm going to be making it 4 boxes wide by 8 boxes tall. Each wall in my photo booth will be a different color, and for each side of my wall, I'm going to choose a different shade. This will help to clearly show the different sides and faces. I'm showing 3 sides of each wall, so I'm actually going to create another shade of each color to go into our painter's palette on the side. So I'm going to use this new shade of pink that I've created to finish up the top of my wall, and then I'm going to repeat the same steps and build my second wall, which will be in blue. For my last wall, in this view, it will actually be slightly hidden, and you'll only be able to see the top of it. So I'm just going to use the pen tool to draw the top part of my wall. And that's our Project Build team's photo booth design as an isometric model. You can use this isometric grid to create all kinds of shapes, from more intricate models to basic 3D shapes like cubes. Have fun with it and get creative with the shapes and models you can make. Thank you so much for watching today's video, as well as all the other videos we posted throughout the weeks. We hope you enjoyed them and you found them to be helpful. Also, thank you so much to our Project Build participants who came into our after-school program weekly, as well as watched these videos online and came up with a really cool idea for the photo booth that we've been talking about throughout these design tutorials. Thank you also to TJ and Keithy for helping out with the after-school program, as well as our guest speakers for the after-school program, Shannon and Salo, who came in to talk to us about urban planning, as well as brainstorming in design. Thank you again all so much for watching. We really do appreciate the support, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.